All right, spend a day with me to walk from Portugal to Spain, and that's basically 22 kilometers. So we started our day bright and early. I actually woke up at 5 a.m. because of jet lag, but we only started walking at like 9:30 because that might be my fault because I felt a bit lazy. And guys, you can't really blame me because we had 22 kilometers to walk. Not to mention my bag is also like 15 pounds. I actually haven't weighed it, but look at this view. Guys, I have no words. It's beautiful. Like I don't know, do we just see that reflection? Anyway, so this is just us passing into Spain. I know that was like 2 kilometers in. It was clickbait. You can't get mad at me for that. But we technically did walk from Portugal to Spain. And Tui was nice. So this is Tui. And we visited a cathedral there. And we tried to find a stamp for our little Camino passports, but I'm actually not sure if we did end up finding those stamps. But then we stopped for some coffee at a little cute cafe, and actually, why can't I find any cafes like this where I live? Like, come on. I feel like that just might be a me problem, and I am just blaming my surroundings because I don't want to take responsibility of my actions. You know what I have been thinking? I have actually been thinking that life is actually very beautiful if you just stop and appreciate it. Or maybe I'm just being very dramatic and it's all the cafe con leches getting to my head. But seriously, here, I don't think life can be real. Like, am I just literally hiking to go eat and then hiking to eat again in some place that looks like Lord of the Rings? One hard thing here, though, is that if you need to go to the bathroom, there's not really many options other than holding it till the next lunch place or snack place, or just going into the wilderness and doing it as people back then did. And it's just kind of annoying. But for lunch, we actually had this really good Nutella cake. And I'm going to recreate it when I get back home because it was really good and soft and fluffy. And I was like, wow, how could they do this so far away from civilization? But I assume that is how it would always work back then in the days. Guys, we actually met people and their feet were kind of torn up from all the walking, and that scared me a bit. Also, I had a really bad nosebleed and we had to stop for like 5 hours. That is not how long we had to stop. We had to stop for like 20 minutes so I can just bleed out my nose. Not the prettiest sight, but that is the price you pay when there is no rain. But anyways, do we see that bridge? That is actually quite cool. Can we like appreciate the fact that there's little cobblestone pathways over some random water? At the end, we arrived at our little apartment hostel. That was very cute. It was very medieval. It was very old. It was very creaky. And then there was a little parade happening in the little village we were at. It was very nice. Good night.